Just what was the whole experience like for you coming in here in December and, trying to help a team turn things around, get some young guys going, everything?
Well, it was definitely a learning experience. I mean, there was a different season, right? It's a roller coaster. There was a lot of different parts of a group dynamic. Guys were in and out. We had one group when we started, and then kind of where we ended was different, right?
Yeah.
So managing that was something new in terms of just personalities, and so there was a little bit of a roller coaster for sure in that area. Yeah.
Was it challenging where you're trying to right the ship for the guys, but you're also navigating life as an NHL head coach for the first time too?
Yeah, but challenges are good, right? So I think, it was a challenge, but I think it was good, and we got through it, and because of it, we're going to be better in the long run, yeah.
The way the season closed and the way some of these young guys produce right away, is that your pitch for this job full time? Like, look what we were doing at the end of the year, look what I could do with these young guys? Is that kind of your angle?
Well, I think it helped everybody, right? I think it's always nicer to win at the end of the year. I think the body of work is bigger than that, though, right? I think there was good stretches throughout the year. There were some bad stretches throughout the year, and there was different reasons for that. And I think there's a lot of undercurrent that people don't know about that goes behind that nobody's going to talk about. But there's always different reasons, right? I don't think it comes down to one person or one player or it's a group thing, right? But it was nice to see those guys come in and do that, and it was definitely encouraging for sure.
Did you learn that it's more than the X's and O's? Like, how much does personalities weigh in schedule, and like some of those nuances that you were just alluding to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a big part of it, right? I think you always have that anywhere you coach, if it's the American League or any league, right? It gets magnified up here for sure. Yeah, and the time constraints here is obviously it's harder to manage, but it's something I learned throughout the year, I think, which ties into what you're talking about, right? There's definitely less X's and O coaching here than anywhere. It is more about mentality and managing personnel and players.
How would you assess your performance, I guess? When you look back at it, how do you...
My performance?
Yeah, just what do you think about?
I don't know if I... Yeah, I mean, I think there's good and bad. I think there's stuff I can learn from for sure. I don't know what the record was. I don't look at that. I'm sure you do, probably. Can someone tell me? Because I don't know.
Actually,
okay, good.
Exactly.
Stop keeping track after a while.
Yeah. Okay. Is that good or bad?
I know you had 26 wins.
What's that?
Yeah, 26
Well,
wins.
the team did.
Okay.
Getting off track.
Either way. What was the question again?
Just kind of a self-analysis, just, how you felt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Good. A lot of learning, a lot of moments learned from, and there were some good ones. I think, kind of to Mark's point, there were some steps in the right direction in youth for sure. I mean, if you look at some of these guys, the last 20-some games for Frank and Nazar, I think Connor, took steps in a lot of areas. I think some of the young D took steps in a lot of areas. So I think there was growth for everybody, including myself.
You've been here since, obviously, with the organization for a long time, especially when Kyle took over. And I'm sure that you taking the head coach position, sort of there's a decision to be made, but you're pretty invested in where this rebuild's gone and the development of these players. And I guess regardless of what happens, do you hope to be part of this and the investment that you've put in, that you can maybe influence, whether it's head coach or in another role?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want to be here, and I think we've started something, and I'm not a guy that's going to be like, I have to do this or that. Like, I'm a team-oriented person. I want to help the organization. I want to help these young players take the next step in their careers, and us as an organization. That's the biggest focus for me, yeah.
Have you seen, I guess, just where have you seen the rebuild, or where, I'm sure you have a good handle of where you guys are at and where you need to be, I guess, how do you assess that?
I think we're on the right track. I see a lot of these young guys that we alluded to earlier come in and do what they did in the last 10-some games. I think you see a lot of progression. Again, bring up Frankie, the way he's played here the last 20 games has been really encouraging to watch. Spencer coming in playing well, Sodi coming in, having the rebound of the year, the response here from last year. There's a lot of positives with a lot of these young guys. So I think the pool of players is deep, and obviously, you know, I think it's going to be some battle for spots. If you look at the young D now, we have a lot of young D here that's been up and down throughout the season, or in Rockford right now, or ended here. So competition for those spots are going to be really fun to watch to see what plays out of there. So there's a lot of encouraging signs there for sure.
Connor was appreciative of the one-on-one time that he got with you and credited you for helping get his offensive game back on track when you got hired as the coach. What was your relationship with him like behind the scenes, and how did you help him get things back on track after the tough start?
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he's kind of a hockey junkie like I am, so I think he watches a lot, and so do I, and so we have a lot to talk about. I think we see the game similar in a lot of areas. I think he's anything you talk to him about, he tries to do it, and he puts his best foot forward and wants to try it. I think that, you know, offensively, we just talk about little things, right? You watch the top players. There's certain things they do, certain areas they operate in, and it's an area we talk about for him. You know, I think face-offs improved for him, and that means you play with the puck. You don't chase the puck, so that's a positive. No, but I mean, we have a good relationship. He's a really bright young man that has a super bright future, obviously. So it's been fun to develop that relationship with him.
Do you have a formal interview set up with Kyle for the job yet, like a date and a process that you know how it's going to work out?
There's going to be a process. I don't know the exact everything, all the details. Yeah, it's a little bit quick here. We just ended, right? So
Yeah.
there's going to be a coaching, search and process, and part of it, and go from there.
17:30 and 9, sure.
What was it?
17:30 and 9.
Okay, perfect. I'll let my mom know. Sure. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks.